day here and it's quiet. Actually, it's kind of late for me. Let's see, what time is it? I think it's going, it's not 6 o'clock. But it's late for me because the sun is already up. So, I just, literally, just finished rinsing my hair slash washing my hair. So I wanted to come in to chat about, and just take a look in on my fine little mane, as well as have a chit chat about beauty. It's not natural. That's going to be our little early day chit chat for those of you that are up, or you may catch the replay. If you're interested in this kind of content and embracing on here, and you decided to go on this journey of embracing what it is, the features that you have been divinely assigned, then that's what we're going to be chit chatting about. So grab your hydration, your water in a wine glass, and let's commune for a moment before I go out to the garden and to the market. And also, I've been busy with making delicious food for a retreat, whole living unprocessed food. So hopefully some of you folks will decide to come down and visit me in the garden. And the food has been really delicious. So I've been posting the treats that we've been packing for the Mind Sacred sites. And to go visit the iguanas, I've been posting them online on Instagram. So you can check those out. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm Body-Culinary, professional chef, personal trainer, natural-born woman with a womb and a uterus, which I really appreciate. And shout out to you, whatever your expression is. On this channel, I love to share some of my journey of radical self-acceptance, embracing, celebrating, being creative with the features, the natural features that I have been divinely assigned. I am not against makeup. I think it is very beautiful and creative. However, I prioritize my health and confidence over a moving goalpost and someone else's made-up standard of beauty, which, you know, teams of people sit down and change at will whenever they feel like it in order to market products to me, which I really don't need. And that's coming from someone who's had a truckload of acne. So I feel really grateful to be able to embrace and breathe in my natural skin, as well as embrace the different phases of life that we're going to go through. So I'm no longer a teenager. And I really am intentional about enjoying every phase of life healthfully, with mental and emotional health, physical health. And that leading into, on this channel, I love to share 3 lifestyle practices that I found are leveraged lifestyle practices that really give you something back for the investment of your time, energy, and attention. The valuable, not enough money in the world for your attention and your focus. And those 3 lifestyle practices are, that give you something back, that give you more back, are peaceful consumption, food that loves you back and that doesn't leave a lot of waste on your waistline or in your arteries and clogging up and slowing down your body temple that your cells can recognize. Personal movement practice, reactivating it or activating it and refining and cultivating it, because it is one of the things that has made me feel the best. And I think it is something that many of us are missing out on, a personal movement practice. Bestest part of the day. And then there's also garden therapy. The garden has given me, it gives me immediate access. These lifestyle practices can give you immediate access and catapult you out of stinking thinking, ruminating, obsessing, worrying. You can get into action around lifestyle, with these lifestyle practices. You can get into lifestyle, you can get into action around your core values, one of them being health. I know that is a core value for me. As someone that has come from a family pattern and history of morbid obesity, diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, which I observe quite often can be an effect, a symptom of being down in the dumps, stress, depression, and a lot of our consumption patterns are often, they're not helpful. Often they're not, a lot of our lifestyle patterns are very drying. are very depleting. And these are societal lifestyle patterns. A lot of them are cultural. So those are things I explore, and I take a lot of the principles that my grandma Lou and my godparents had shared with me. And I like to take the Caribbean flavors and the Southern flavors, and I switch them all to whole living foods. It's a very pleasurable lifestyle. So I share a lot of that on this channel. You can feel free to check out Kwasa with the K Peaceful Eating on TikTok and Facebook, as well as Body-Culinary on Instagram. And that's where I post a lot of inspiration. Feel free to join me at 5 o'clock in the morning for 5 a.m. Harriet squats. You don't need any equipment. Just bring your own body and be prepared to sweat and to learn. It's a lot of coaching, which feels really good to have support around movement. And there's a lot of coaching for proper and efficient form to keep your joints and your shoulders and your lower back and your knees safe so you can feel confident about moving. Then you can really enjoy your movement practice. So that's what we're doing over here. And one of the things I shared with this hair that I literally just gave a water wash. Yes, a water wash. With no shampoo or anything. So my scalp is feeling nice and free. I can feel my natural texture, all these super flat locks, because the hair is very, very fine. So I just rinsed them with water. So I just stood underneath the water, cascading down, and just massage, really massage vigorously with the pads of my fingers. Massage, massage, massage. So there's no oil, there's no shea butter, there's no nothing in it. And sometimes it just feels refreshing. And I've been on the go for the whole week because we have some precious folks visiting our little sesame garden, Afro flower gardens, for a retreat. So it's been really wonderful. I surprise myself sometimes with the beautiful food that just kind of just comes through. And actually, there's been no oil used in the food, so just to balance out the textures and the flavors, and it's been so delicious. Ooh, child. The food has been delicious. So I take several things off the table when it comes to health and nutrition, right? It's whole, it's fresh, it's living, it's unprocessed. Those are my beauty products, right? I just got through massaging my skin. I'm into a lot of massage, self-massage, breast massage, stomach massage daily with some coconut oil, cold press coconut oil. It's very, very soothing. It's a good way to check and make sure that your sacred parts are growth-free, and you can check in with the health of your body. It's also very soothing. So that is a daily practice. And being that I don't have any products in there, it's not a lot I have to rinse out. So I can feel my hair is drying very, very quickly. All I'm doing is taking a towel. I think dark towels are best, right? So that should lint. I actually don't have a big problem with lint, and I think it's because there's no oil in the hair, right? So it feels great. Oil initially when you put it on, because I did that for a while. However, it can get sticky, and it can coat the locks, and I think that's why when you cut it, because I've been doing some little trims to my locks to the areas that are lighter, I think that's why when I cut it open, I don't see a bunch of sticky buildup because I'm not using oil. So that may be something to get used to, just like some folks, the idea of putting no oil in food. It's like, well, does the food taste good? I'm telling you, as a chef, as someone that likes to eat, food has been off the chain. So this might be a new concept, or I find the facial expression when people think of no makeup, no eyelashes, no, like, ew, I can't imagine that. However, I feel so free. My skin can breathe. My scalp, no dandruff in my scalp. I think one of the biggest things is perhaps embracing our texture. You know, but let's be honest. Who wants to see this? I invite us for a second to retrain the eyes, right? I think we can take for granted how much we are affected by messages and marketing and the crafted message and what we think is good and what we think attractive. I think we don't consider how much what we really feel naturally is attractive has been hijacked. Because from the moment we turn on the screens, it's comparison, comparison, comparison. From a young, very, very, very young woman, I always had this thing about looking for women that were much older than me. in their 40s, 50s, 60s, even up to 100. I want to see vibrant, literal vibrant women with their skin looking good and them, being active, if there's roller skating, double dutch. I was always looking to see where these women are. The term now is best life. But I wanted to see very vibrant, healthy, alive women up to something. So I would tear out the articles in Essence. Essence usually every year would do a spread of women that look good throughout a wide spectrum of age, all the way up to 100. And I always tore those articles out and I would pin them up. And I've done that for years. I would say I've added on to that some women from other cultures who I really admire. There are a few women that I see that, like Tal Porsche Lynch, very petite woman. She just recently passed in these recent years, who's a yoga instructor and ballroom dancer. There's another model named Yasmin. They have white, silver hair, and they're very elegant. So I like to give myself, on this channel, if you stick around for a while, you may note that I'm very intentional about reframing my narrative. And I'm very intentional and protective of my psyche, understanding that folks have messages that they would like to project. So the validation, it's very, very intentional because I'm not a saint or angel. I wouldn't say that I'm not affected, yet I'm very intentional about questioning the thoughts and the internal dialogue, questioning the narrative, slowing down and being quiet to notice the narrative. For example, the different word stream that's coming up around my hair. It's not twisted. I'm not going crazy with tutorials of what to do if your hair grows away from the lock, because if you leave it alone long enough, you will see. You can go along for the ride, should you so choose, to see what will the hair do. That can be actually scary, which is nuts. Right? But this is what it does naturally if it's left alone. It becomes light and fluffy. Again, it's drying as I sit here because I just rinsed it. And, just the feeling that I don't have to fix anything. That's one of the main things I can say. The relaxation, and I don't have to fix or adjust anything. I have the opportunity to play. The pace I've been going at this week with this retreat has been nonstop, nonstop, nonstop. But it's been joyous. And it's been joyous. It's been joyous. I've been having a great time. So it's been really, really hot. I can't imagine putting on so much makeup and I want to go, iguanas were crawling on my head. We're having fun with the iguanas and we're going from here to the market and cutting soursop and in the garden. Just having so much fun, laying on the floor, having our little soul music jam. I'm sweating. I'm with the bunnies. I can't imagine having a bunch of makeup on because I know when I used to wear it, if I went to give somebody a hug, I'm leaving a big brown face print. Or, in order not to leave a face print, I would have to put waterproof stuff and cake it into my skin. And I remember back in the day when I went to charm school, Ophelia DeVore, shout out to Ophelia DeVore, one of the original black charm schools. I remember, really lovely lady was my instructor, and I remember her telling me that makeup protects the skin. And I don't doubt there's some relevance. I can understand where she was coming from. Though intuitively, I just that did not resonate with me. Especially someone with a lot of acne. It didn't resonate with me that makeup is hydrating my skin. Like, I get moisturization, and moisture first is not oil. You see what I hear. Water is moisture. So it just did not sit with me that I would put all these layers, and this is back in the day, so I would say I think there's much more layers and contouring and stuff. Some of it looks fantastic, like artistry. But also a lot of it, to my eye, and it's just my personal perspective, not necessarily the truth, my experience, some of it just looks so artificial. And I think we can train our eyes, right? We can train our eyes. For example, when I was doing fitness competitions, the longer I stayed in that realm, in that community, your eyes start to shift. Your aesthetic for muscle starts to shift. You start to like more muscle, and the leaner you get, you can start to lose, a little bit more of your breast tissue. And so it's common to see more black women with everything artificial. I'm not making it bad or wrong in the fitness industry. So I already knew. I actually really like my natural features. I feel like they're my best features. So there's no way that I was putting anything in my hair. There's no way I would be walking on a stage hot with tanning lotion and all this other stuff you already have to do, and I'm going to be covering up my hair. That wasn't going to happen. This is my best, one of my best features. Something, it's so unique. It is so unique. I celebrate it. Other folks, have celebrated it. So this is not going anywhere. Stage, whatever, not for nothing, not for nobody. I made a decision years ago when I was dating someone. If someone ever made a comment about my hair or basically try to come for my hair, immediate disqualifier. Immediate. This is like, it could be really, really short, which I've worn it very, very short for many years. It's a little peach fuzz cut. I put little designs in it. It makes me feel so good. I feel so comfortable in my skin. So it's very clear from a young age, you don't come for this hair. That means you don't appreciate me. And if you're trying to change me into something I don't look like, immediate disqualifier. Immediate, you don't appreciate, you want something else. You need to go and get the thing that you're looking for, because this is what I look like. No mascara, no foundation, no contour, no glow. And I like myself. I appreciate myself. I smile when I look at the mirror. And there's a lot of shaming going on about what we look like. So is beauty natural? Let's take a sip on that. I've been in the garden a lot, so my nails, some have broken off. But this is what I look like. Think about it. This is what I actually, my physical temple, my vehicle while on this earth plane, this is what it looks like. Think of the mania around looks and what is attractive. I don't know about y'all, but with some life experience, something that's become extremely attractive, responsibility and accountability is attractive. The other night, as we're driving home, our driver was a very large man, very, very large man. And here where I'm traveling in Central America, this man pulled out, he had a little, he had a little DVD set up, really nice sound quality in his little car. He was playing Tevin Campbell, Surface. He played, he had LL Cool J, and we were like, wow. We were having a great time with this drive. He had some great music. He was like, yeah, this is my music. And we were just laughing and having a great time. Interesting how, as someone of Afro descent, Afro-American and also Caribbean, this man was enjoying the straight, distinct flavor of music. We were having a great time. And I was like, wow, you see the specialness sometimes that we want to turn away from. Other folks are having a great time enjoying it. And this is part of what I'm saying. So this gentleman, he was so free. I don't know how he feels about having a larger body, but that wasn't the point. We were having such a great time with this man. He seemed so free in his sharing. I was thinking later, I was like, that is actually attractive. So that's what I mean in retraining your eyes in terms of what's attractive. Now, health is a core value for me. Things do happen in life. Yet, that's not all of who this person was, is their weight. He was showing us a great time. He was open. He was showing us, I love your culture. I love your music. He was telling us he had 3 collections of dance hall, definitely African and Afro-American R&B. I mean, he just showed us a good time. He was so real. Then he was like, we're going to have a punta competition. Y'all look up punta dancing. So I realized that's attractive. Men with a really great attitude is attractive. Folks, many of us watch people when they don't know we're watching, but there's a gentleman online, for example, Mr. Jason Wilson, and he's married. Yeah, when I look at his, how he works with young people and him being on his mission, the way he carries himself, that is so attractive. So at this point in life, if a gentleman, and if a man doesn't have a full hairline, that's not the most important thing. If he has some gray hair, or maybe if it's white, his health, that's attractive. How you treat me is what makes you attractive. Your consistency, somebody that's responsible and accountable, that is attractive, because if they are responsible and accountable, that's going to show up in their health. That's going to show up in their treatment of themselves and other people. if that's a core value that they live by. So beauty for me is health. It's health. And as I'm sitting here, it's drying. Is that lit? Nope. Because sometimes this is what the hair looks like. I don't have any intention. Never say never, but pretty much I don't have any intention of dyeing my hair. I don't have any intention on altering it because of how it makes me feel. I'm moving because of how it makes me feel. My lifestyle is primarily because of how it makes me feel. If any of you are researching or aware of dopamine, right, and the dopamine hits that we're getting from social media, right, it would behoove us to investigate and start to comprehend our psyche, mental conditioning, how the human mind works, how the subconscious, which is driving most of our behavior, works. And that's no small thing, because it is said that science says it's 85 and up % of our behavior. It's not me here talking to you. It's trauma, it's memories, it's the way our ego is trying to protect us, which can often take out the host, right? So it would behoove us, just like the big companies, to understand how to trigger us to do things. If we're going to be programmed individuals, you might as well program yourself. You might as well program yourself. So I'm going to look in. Greetings, Carolyn. So this is freshly washed with water. I do think now that I have a little length, and I think I'm more than likely I'm going to continue to trim, because these were big fluffy locks. So when I say fine hair, this is what I'm talking about. I've allowed them to combine. I'm not doing any kind of twisting. This is how they're manifesting. I'm going along for the ride. If you have fine hair, I think that combining them, this feels more stable. I would have liked to kind of like sister lock. And one of the appealing things about sister locks is that you don't need a bunch of products, right? You don't need to grease your scalp. Although there are some folks now that are greasing their locks. So everybody's going to find, you know, their particular journey. But the light fluffiness appeals to me. My scalp being free, dandruff free, not being super itchy. The fact that my scalp can breathe, that is very freeing for me. So I'm into the freedom. I'm into the relaxation. Those are my products. My products are my food. This is my product. All the cucumbers, all the mangoes, because we're in mango season, those are my products. And the products, I'm applying them from the inside first. Because when I'm moving, when I'm dancing, when I'm jumping up and down on the trampoline, when I'm in the garden, all of that food is coming to the surface. It's circulating through my body, right? My body's sucking up the nutrition and easily passing out the waste. That's what fast food looks like over here. And I like to say these are the ways I intuitively feel, these are the ways of the mothers and the grandmothers, right? I'm getting the most nutrition I can because I love it living, the food's living, so I'm leaving the nutrition in integrity. I'm not cooking them to death. I'm not cooking out all of the living water. They're not heavily salted. So those are my beauty products. It just intuitively, that just feels like, it just makes sense more so than taking a bunch of powders and pills. By the way, if you're interested in the guide and getting some insight on what I'm doing, what I've been doing for many years, you can check out Whole Living Foods in the Hood with menus to fit your budget, which I really feel can be a paradigm shifter, because some folks may not realize just how much creativity you can have with whole, fresh, living foods. And I'm eating plant foods. I used to have a Jerry Crow and a gold tooth. I used to eat a lot of flesh. I'm trained as a chef. And I also understand what it's like to eat emotionally, right? And recreationally, which I think is a lot of what's driving our eating. A lot of times we're just eating to have a good time, and nutrition is not the priority. And when we do spend money on powders and pills and supplements, I think that can kind of ease us into a bit of complacency where we think that we don't have to really upgrade our food because we're taking pills. And I have found that this is sustainable, it's easy, it makes sense on any budget. No matter where I go, I can find some kinds of fruits and vegetables. My body responds, has responded straight up and down to whole, fresh living foods and movement, as well as sleep. That's, I would say, the biggest thing, challenge is sleep. My skin, my hair, my weight, it responds to these things. So once you can get clear, keep it simple and get clear, then you can start to look and refine and adjust and shave away perhaps some of the things that are time wasters or that are not a good investment of your time and your attention. If there are things that are depleting you, if you find yourself lulled hypnotically into putting your body temple, your reproductive organs, yourself in harm's way, then in your quiet moments you can contemplate without making yourself bad or wrong, why? Why am I placing myself in harm's way? And what can I do different? Maybe we don't think. I think folks don't think that a garden could be exciting. It's exciting. That's my reality TV. Folks don't, and I'm not a saint. There are things that I can watch, but I notice if like I'm not getting anything out of this, and that's my incentive to change the channel or turn these things off and go enjoy, get out in the sun. Folks may not think a garden is exciting. They may not think that, maybe this is not exciting enough because I know it's like, oh, I'm bored or something, which is not bad or wrong. Let me change my color of my hair. Let me change something on the outside. Am I always looking to change something on the outside when maybe perhaps there's something else that's driving us from the inside, and maybe we don't even realize how can we address that. So I've found that peaceful consumption, playing and making beautiful, simple, delicious food, the garden, and my movement practice makes me feel electric, athletic, spent, get to train like an animal, strong. It's give me so much back, and I don't need to go to a gym. This is one of my best kept secrets. I can throw some good music on and have a party with myself, and it's lovely to do it with other people. My skin feels so soft from the food that I'm eating, right? And not putting all of these silicones on my skin. My hair feels light and fluffy. So this is a simple yet bountiful lifestyle. People say, I love your lifestyle. Sometimes I'm thinking like I'm not doing anything that other folks can't do. I'm not doing anything for the most part people don't have access to, because wherever you are, I encourage you to use the best of what you have, whatever tools, if that's a grater, a knife, and a cutting board. If you only have callaloo in your environment for greens, then you use that. If you got scallions growing in your yard, I'll get down for the crown with whatever produce is available to me. So I really want to encourage you today. Try and radical self-acceptance. It's ease, ease, ease. Relaxation. Those are my products. Those are what I strive for. And periodically during the day, I do a check-in to see how I'm feeling, because we are sucked in, all of us. We're sucked into a pace that has us very anxious to spend, to be performative, to put on a show. For who, for what? For a lot that's not real. So I invite you to join me for Harriet Squat's Body-Culinary on the Discord app. Fridays, I'm having community classes, so there's a suggested donation, though no one is turned away. You will need to fill out an application and a waiver so that we can also match a name with the email and see who folks are beyond the avatar, so we can have a safe space to play. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. You'll be dripping in sweat. And I really want to say, I think a lot of women, especially Afro women, we're missing out. If only you knew how beautiful the food could be that you can eat and not feel like you have the itis. You can eat food where you are literally satiated. You can find the experience, what I like to call the sweet spot, where you can, the food is so beautiful and delicious, you can get up and walk away from the table, feel satiated and not weighed down. And the food is also beautiful, and it's like I can move on to other things in my life. I don't have to be just fixated on a meal. It's so freeing. So it's self-therapy, self-therapeutic practices that I invite you to try and emphasize. It's such a joy. I think it's something that's missing. So I'm inviting you all to create a great day. I'm off to the market. We still have this retreat that's going on. Yeah. And I'm inviting you all to create a great day on purpose, simply because you said so. I invite you to feed yourself the most beautiful, colorful, nutrient-dense, water-rich, peaceful fuel that is available to you in your area. And consider starting out with 1 or 2 plants to grow. Right? I'll see you soon. Like, comment, subscribe. And the hair's almost dry now. Just been sitting here. And just the ends are damp. And I just blotted them with a towel. See you soon.